kwa video kabisa. Okay. Utatuambia tukianza. Haya. Thank you so much, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. With me here is that day that the Global Association of Clinical Officers and Physician Associates decided that today they will issue a joint press statement. This press statement is being issued here live from the Kenya Clinical Officers Association and Kenya Union of Clinical Officers head offices here at the Upper Hill Garden in Nairobi, Kenya. So the Global Association of Clinical Officers and Physician Associates is an international association that brings together more than 43 African countries, brings together the clinical officers, the physician assistants, the clinical associates, the medical assistants, the physician assistants, the health officers, community health practitioners. We have different titles, close to around 20 that I can't mention all. So this organization was formed to bring these titles or this cadre together and to have one common name. One common name, that's nomenclature, curriculum, and so that we can fight for our space and WHO recognition, which again we've already got. So the headquarters of this association is in Accra, Ghana. So in the leadership forum for the International Association for the Clinical Officers and Physician Associates, we decided together with 29 other presidents of unions, associations, and relevant bodies within the world to issue this joint press statement. So I will be issuing it on behalf of the presidents of different associations who could not make it here in Nairobi. I'm Austin Oduor. I'm the president of the Global Association of Clinical Officers and Physician Associates. Together with me here on my left side is Godfrey Ndungu, is the vice chair of the Gacopa, the Global Association of Clinical Officers and Physician Associates East Africa Region chapter. And we also have the member of the Kenya Clinical Officers Association representing the Secretary General and the President. And we also have Ekisa Mbuchi, who heads the Ophthalmic Association here in Kenya, and they're also having the coordination, the Africa Ophthalmic Association. He's also a member of the union and a clinical officer. So I will issue this press statement. Then after that, we will answer some of the key questions, and then we will close it at that point. So this is a press statement in solidarity with the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers on their nationwide strike. Today, Wednesday, 15th May 2024. This press statement is from the presidents of various global associations and unions representing clinical officers and physician associates under the umbrella of Gacopa. We, the undersigned presidents of various associations and unions worldwide, stand in firm solidarity with the ongoing strike by the clinical officers in the Republic of Kenya. These health professionals provide critical services and care to the Kenyan population, especially in undeserved areas. Their grievances, which have led to the current strike, must be acknowledged and resolved without further delay. As presidents, chairpersons of various country associations representing frontline health care workers, we stand in solidarity with the clinical officers of Kenya as they enter day 45 of their strike today. The issues they've raised are not only pertinent to their profession, but resonate with frontline health workers globally. The right to health care is a fundamental human right, and clinical officers play an indispensable role in fulfilling this right for millions of Kenyans. We understand their demands include employment of more clinical officers, which we say there is an urgent need to bolster the healthcare workforce by employing more clinical officers to meet the growing demand of healthcare delivery. Completion and registration of their collective bargaining agreement, and we also say that both levels of government must push this completion and registration of the collective bargaining agreement to ensure fair working conditions and benefits for clinical officers. They're also saying the payment of enhanced risk allowance, which we say it's recognizing the critical role of clinical officers as frontline health workers. It is imperative to promptly pay enhanced risk allowance to acknowledge their dedication and sacrifice. And lastly, ratification of the career progression guideline, which is very key. It's very key to Gacopa and is very key to the International Association. This ratification of career progression guideline for the growth of clinical officers is essential to provide clear pathways for professional growth and development. Clinical officers, like their counterparts in other countries, and we've mentioned the different names that they take, are indispensable frontline health workers, pivotal to primary healthcare and achieving universal health coverage. These demands are reasonable and necessary for the well-being of both the health workers and the patients they serve. We call upon the President of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the Cabinet Secretary for Health, the Parliament, and relevant authorities to take immediate action to address the concerns of the clinical officers. The current strike is a direct result of ongoing systemic issues that must be resolved to ensure a functional and effective healthcare system for all Kenyans, and not only in Kenya, in the entire world. The prolonged strike will continue to cause harm to the Kenyan people by disrupting access to healthcare and emergency services. It is imperative that dialogue and negotiation with the clinical officers' representatives should commence without delay, and we are happy that it has begun, and with genuine commitment to reach a fair and just resolution. As leaders of international associations and unions, we are closely monitoring the situation and urge all parties to prioritize the health and safety of the people of Kenya. Our thoughts and support are with the clinical officers and all those affected by the ongoing strike. This statement has been issued by the following: Alhaj Mustafa Majid, President of the Malaysia Association of Medical Assistants, MAMA, Putrajaya, Malaysia. Maluo Maguru, President of the Health Extension Officers Association of Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Peter Akuduku Ayamba, President of the Ghana Physician Assistant Association, GPAA, Accra, Ghana. Solomon David Chomba, President of the Physician Assistants Union of Malawi, PAUM, Lilongwe, Malawi. Neba Jones, President of the Clinical Officers Association of Zambia, COAZ, Lusaka, Zambia. Bob Estimate Katumwa, President of the Clinical Officers Association of Zimbabwe, COAZ, Harare, Zimbabwe. Data Rama Adhikari, President of the Nepal Health Assistant Association, Kathmandu, Nepal. Uyapo Maweni, President of the Botswana Clinical Officers Union, Gaborone, Botswana. Scott Smalley, President of the International Academy of Physician Associates Educators, IAPAE, Atlanta, Georgia, the United States. Innocent Wilson Somboi, President of the Tanzania Association of Clinical Officers and Clinical Assistants, TACOCA, Dodoma, Tanzania. Shivakumar Ramakrishnan, President of the Indian Association of Physician Assistants, IAPA, Chennai, India. Dr. Serkelem Girma, President of the Public Health Officers Association of Ethiopia, PHOE, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Lindsay Milkarek, President of the Physician Assistants for Global Health, New York, USA. Edwin Labalo, President of the Professional Association of Clinical Associates of South Africa, PACASA, Johannesburg, South Africa. Paul Kiatereka, President of the Medical Clinical Officers Professionals of Uganda, MCOPU, Kampala, Uganda. Masood Rahman Rana, Interim President of the Bangladesh Medical Assistants Association, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Colombe Bizumurenyi, President of the Burundi Clinical Officers Association, ACOB, Bujumbura, Burundi. Thabang Sepiroa, Vice President of the Clinical Associates Union of South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa. Norman Nwagaba, President of the Uganda Clinical Officers Union, Kampala, Uganda. Albert Taiti, President of the African Network of Clinical Practitioners, ANCP, Lusaka, Zambia, is also the president of the Kenya Clinical Officers Association. Anthony Asare Akor, president of the Graduate Physician Assistants Association of Ghana, GRAPAG, Accra, Ghana, is also the vice president of Gacopa. Theophilus Faya, president of the Liberian National Physician Assistant Association, LINPA, Monrovia, Liberia. Samuel Omwony, acting president of the South Sudan Clinical Officers Association, Juba, South Sudan. Musa B. Sila, president of the Sierra Leone Community Health Officers Association, SLACO, Freetown, Sierra Leone. Dan Uitonze, president of the Rwanda Medical Clinical Officers Organization, RMCOO, Kigali, Rwanda. Fenwick Mudanya, president of the Society of Non-Physician Assistant Anesthetists, Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, is also the president of the National Association of Anesthetists, that's NACOA. Ephraim Anja Adu, president of the Society of Community Health Technologists and Scientists of Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria. And this joint press statement has been signed on behalf of Gacopa and the respective associations and unions, and the names that I've read by me here, Austin Odoro Tieno, president of Gacopa, headquarters, Accra, Ghana. So this is the joint press statement where we are saying that Gacopa, together with more than 40 countries, and through their leadership, have joined the clinical officers in solidarity as they enter day 45 of the nationwide strike. And we just hope that things will materialize, things will come, and a return to work formula will be signed, because the issues that we've just read there are issues that the government can take very keen interest and can really solve them as much as possible. So I want to, at this juncture, I want to give the Vice Chair of Gacopa East Africa just to make a few remarks on the ongoing issues that we've addressed here. Then I will give my colleague, who is the head of the ophthalmic clinical officers, to also make his remarks. And then from there, we will answer the questions and we will call it a day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Godfrey Ndungu. I'm the Vice Chairperson of the Gacopa East Africa. Mainly just to echo what our President has said with regards to the press statement, we are in solidarity with all clinical officers in Kenya. And remember, united we stand, divided we beg. Therefore, we stand to be divided, we stand to be united for this joint venture, and we are together. That's all what I can say for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, members of the Fourth Estate. My name is Ekisa Ambuchi. I'm the Chairman, National Association of Comprehensive Ophthalmology and Cataract Surgeon here in Kenya. We are here in solidarity with the clinical officers under the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, because we feel that the government has not taken heed in addressing the issues that the union is raising. We understand that Kenyans are suffering, and to be specific, the visions of Kenya, the Department of Eye, we are really struggling to make sure things work. We pray that the government will take heed, together with the Council of Governors, to make sure that we resolve this matter as soon as possible for the purpose of progression of services as enshrined in our Constitution, that all Kenyans have the right for highest attainable standard of health, which for the past 45 days we have been denied. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the leaders, that we decided this press conference was timely, and we could not just wait for it. When an issue like a strike that is affecting, remember in Kenya, there are more than 30,000 clinical officers, and 95% of patients who seek, or people who seek clinical care services, or who want to seek medical services in the outpatients and in various places, are seen by clinical officers. So a strike that is affecting 95%, is a strike of this nature is something that has raised a lot of concern, not only in Kenya, but in the entire world. So that is why these presidents of these different associations came together and decided that let us just tell the government that they should do the right thing. We cannot allow this type of cadre to go on strike for 45 days and still going, and there's nothing that is being addressed. We just hope so that this thing will end. Otherwise, from the desk of the Globalization of Clinical Officers and Physician Associates, we just want to tell our members that we know that this strike will end, but in August 27th, 26th to 29th, the global body here will be hosting its 4th international conference, which will take place in the beautiful city of Gaborone. Gaborone is in Botswana, Southern Africa. We held our first conference in Ghana, Accra, Ghana. That's where our headquarters are. Our second conference took place in Rwanda, Kigali, in 2019, in 2020. Then in 2021, we were supposed to hold our third international conference, but due to COVID-19, it was pushed to last year, where we held a very successful conference in Malaysia. So just some summary in that conference that we'll be holding in Botswana, just for purposes, we will be awarding the Outstanding Clinical Practitioner for the year 2023-2024. We will also be awarding the Best Award in Excellence and Leadership, also known as the Minister for Health Award, and also the Gacopa President's Award. We want to thank Kenyans who attended the conference in Malaysia, where Phyllis Onkoba won the Best Award in Excellence and Leadership, though the Outstanding Clinical Practitioner went to a medical assistant from Malaysia. So this time, we will open the floors for application, abstract submission, and let us meet in the beautiful city of Gaborone, Botswana. Otherwise, thank you so much, unless there are questions. Yes. Ningesema najua hii ilikuwa presa ya Gacopa ya ile bodi ya international, na najua kuna watu wengi wanatusikiza kutoka nchi nyingi, lakini ningependa kusema kuwa sisi mgomo wa matabibu hapa Kenya ni mgomo halali, ambaye mahakama kuu imedhibitisha kuwa ni halali. Uwezekano wa magavana kujaribu kusitisha mgomo wetu umeshindikana. Kitambo tu kuwa tumeanza kuongea na magavana, lakini jana ndio ilikuwa mara ya kwanza kukutana na magavana, wale viongozi wao. Ndio hiyo mchakato wa kuelewana vile hiyo CBA itakuwa inafanyika ilianza jana. Hatuwezi sema itaisha, huwezi anza jana na iishe tena hiyo siku. Kwa hivyo tunaambia watu wetu bado mazungumzo yanaendelea. Hata leo kuna mazungumzo kwenye Wizara ya Afya, kesho kutakuwa na mazungumzo tena na magavana, na tunatarajia resolution watafikia resolution, na sisi pia tutafikia hiyo resolution na tutasitisha mgomo. Lakini kwa sasa mgomo bado unaendelea. We had 10 issues, and so far only one issue has already been addressed. There are 9. There are issues that we cannot go back without resolving, and that is why we are still on the streets. So there are issues. We might not agree on the 9, and there is one that is very key, and that is something like the enhanced risk allowance, which had already been signed by the ministry. So if the ministry had given an okay over that, why must we now say we don't want it? And it was agreed. So that is something that if they agree, then other things we can also discuss on the timeline. Okay. Otherwise, thank you so much, Gacopa. Tukutane Gaborone, Botswana. Inchi ambayo, for those who also want to travel by road, we have Mr. Godfrey here coordinating those beautiful buses that will pass for you, for those who are from Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan. I've seen someone from South Sudan asking about the travel logistics. We will arrange buses from Nairobi to Dar es Salaam to Mbeya, Mbeya to Kabwe, to Lusaka. Once you are in Lusaka, there are two ways. You can go via Harare, or you can go via Botswana directly. You reach Johannesburg. Once you are in Johannesburg, you can relax, drink, look at the way Johannesburg city is, then take that road trip. Very nice buses from Johannesburg to Gaborone, which is only 5 hours. And you will be in Gaborone. You will be welcomed there by the DDT College of Medicine, the Botswana Clinical Officers Union members, and that's a beautiful country if you want to go and see those zebras. And you want, but make sure that when you are going down south, pass by the Victoria Falls and see how Victoria Falls and nature has it for us. You can come back by air or still come back by road, and then you'll enjoy your trip. For those who are from West Africa, the only option is air. You have to book your air tickets early from Accra, from Monrovia, from Freetown. You book it early. Ethiopia, you might also need to book. And then for people from Asia, you also book it early, and even the US. So far, we've already had 16 people confirming the trip to Botswana. And we want to urge Kenyans. Last time, Kenyans around 77 went to Malaysia, 115 went to Rwanda. This time, Botswana, we have to make it 200. Thank you so much. Simeisha. Bado uko online?